Hello there, Javad is here, and this is the 20th session of Revit free architecture course. If you are a newbie, please see the previous videos to be able to watch this video, or if you want to learn schedules in Revit and you know how to work with Revit, this video is for you, and let's learn schedules in Revit. As you know, in our industry, most of the time we need so many schedules for our work, and Revit can help you in many of them. For example, we have our doors in here and we want to create a schedule for it. You can create a schedule for anything that you see in Revit. To create a schedule, go to the view tab, and in here we have schedules, and it has a drop down. We have different schedules. We have schedule quantities, we have graphical column schedule, we have material takeoff and sheet list, and so on. In here I want to use schedule and quantities to use for components and elements in Revit instead of materials. For example, click on it, and in here you need to specify which category you want to quantity. For example, I want my doors. Let's bring our doors, and in here you can specify the name of it, or you can accept the automatic name. And in here, click on the building component, click on OK, and also you can check the phase in here, click on OK. And now, as you may know, we have thousands of parameters and hundreds of parameters in each element, but we don't want to have all of them. In our schedule, we have some, we want to pick some of them. So in here, you need to pick any parameter you want to have in your schedule, and don't worry, you can modify it in any time. In here, I want my family and type. I want my width of my door, and also I want my height parameter, and I want the level parameter too. And let's bring the level parameter upper down, family and type. And I want the cost too, to know the cost of my doors in project. Let's bring it in, and let's bring it down. Now we are good to go. Click on OK. Now we have our schedule in here. You can zoom by holding the control and your mouse wheel. Now we have our parameters. In here we have our levels, family and type, width and height. I don't want to see all of the levels, and I just want to group them by level. So to group according any parameter you want, you need to go to the fields in here, or you can go to the sorting and grouping, but you will access to exact window. Go to the sorting and grouping, and in here let's tell Revit that we want to sort it by level, and I want a header for it, and I'll check the blank line because I want a space between each group, and also I want a subgroup too. After levels, I want doors to be grouped by family and type too. And now I don't want any header, or maybe it's good to have a header. Click on OK. Now you can see I have a group by level in here, and in each level I have subgroup of family and types, or you can uncheck the header and you can't see anything in here. The thing is, here I want to group them by level, but I don't see the level column in here. So select the column in here. Don't select this column, just select the header of it and click on hide. Don't delete it because we need the data. And now you can see it is much cleaner, and I also we've grouped them by level 2. And now this is great, and you can add or remove any parameter from here, or even you can filter them. For example, you can say I just want to have my level 1 doors in my schedule. You can, for example, filter them by level equal to plan 1. Click on OK. Now you can see I just have my plan 1 doors in here. Let's put it on none, and you can create filters too. Maybe you are telling with yourself that these are really simple and we can do any calculation in here, but you are wrong. We have two different kind of parameters in Revit. We have calculated and combined parameters. Calculated parameters, for example, you have width and height, and you want to calculate the area. And combined parameters, for example, you have the width and height, but you want to see them in one column instead of separate columns. And now with knowing it, let's create a combined parameter for our width and height, and also let's create a calculated parameter too. To do that, for example, let's go to our fields in here. And now we can create a calculated parameter in here. Let's calculate the area of our door. Instead of cost of it, we will calculate the cost by another way. Let's name it area in here. and in here put the discipline on common, and for the type it's gonna be an area, and in here let's select the width and then type multiple sign, and then I want to multiply it by height, and it's gonna be area, and it will be in here. Let's bring it up and put it in here, click on OK. Now you can see it will calculate the area of our doors for us in here. And for the cost, for example, let's assign some cost in here. Let's put on 400 because it's a type parameter. It will assign them to all of the instances of this door. Let's put on 200 in here. I assign some costs in here. I want to have the total of them. To do that, go to the fields in here, and in the sorting and grouping part, I want a footer for my family and type, and I want a footer in here, and in here I want to calculate the totals, so put it on totals only, and then at the end I also want to have the grand total for all of my costs for my doors. To do that, in the grand total part, check the option on, and in here put it on totals only, and when you click on OK, you can see nothing because you need to specify which items gonna be calculated or sum up. To do that, go to the formatting, in here select the parameter that you want, for example cost in this specific item, put it on to calculate totals, and now we are good to go. Click on OK. Now we have the total cost of each type, and also we have the total cost for all of our doors in here. So that's the way you can calculate the totals of them very easily with Revit. Now let's create a combined parameter for width and height. To do that, click on fields again, and here we have a combined parameter. Let's name it, for example, size. Let's bring our width and our height. And for the separator, let's press a space once and multiple option, and it's one space in here, and you can see the preview of this in here, or let's press another space maybe in here, click on OK, and now you have an item in here which is size, which are combined by width and height. It's not going to calculate anything, it's gonna show you the list of those parameters together. Okay, this is great. Let's send it for our boss. Okay, that's great. Send. Oh, he's typing. No, it's not ugly, boss. He doesn't like it. Let's make it more beautiful. Now let's learn some tools to make it more beautiful. You have the appearance part in here. You can go in here, you can change the graphics for the for each part of your schedule, and we have a stripe rows in here. Let's put it on a stripe rows. Let's put the first stripe rows on something like gray, and the second one let's put it on something maybe light green. Click on OK and OK. It is much better right now. You can understand the data much better. And also we have our grid lines, and also we have our text. You can uncheck the show title, or let's check it, and now you can see the title in here, or you can uncheck it, and I don't want to see my title. We have our headers. You can uncheck them too, but it is better to have them in here. And we have our lines for each part of our schedule. And also if you don't want to use any stripe rows, you can go to any column or any cell in here, and you can have some items. What it is useful for columns. Let's bring the headers back, and in here let's select this area in here, and we have our reset font, and also we have our shading. For example, you can change the font of it in here. Let's put it on something else, and also you can change the size of your font in here. For example, let's put it 24, and it will be much obvious in sheet. Also let's put it on shading, and let's assign a light cyan to the shading of it, and now we'll have something like this. Okay, let's bring our door schedule in here. Oh, you can, it is so huge. You know what? Because we need to change the sizes of each row and column, and also we've specified a font for this one. Let's reset it. Now let's go to our sheet again. Now you can see it is much better. Let's bring it. You can see it is again very huge. You can make it much bigger in here to have it in one line instead of two lines for each item, and it will be much shorter. You can make it even bigger, or you can change the font of them really easily, and even you can change the row and column size. To do that, let's go to the door schedule, and in here let's select these columns in here, and in this part let's click on resize. Let's put it on a much smaller number. Let's put it on 50, and for this part let's put the row size. I don't want to click on row sizes, but another thing that I want to do is to make sure that the fonts are much smaller. To do that, select all of these and let's go to the font. Let's put it on 12 and let's check it on sheet. It's gonna be it should be much smaller. Let's put it on font and let's put it on 0.5. You can see these are great, but our headers are too huge. To make sure our headers are small too, you need to go to the appearance, and in here you need to assign a text to them, and these texts are coming from our text type. So let's create a text in here and let's assign a low number to it, and then we need to assign that text to our schedule. Now we have this text in here. Let's go to the schedule again, and in here let's go to the appearance and assign the tot text or the text that you've created to all of them. Now let's go to the schedule and let's see them in here. You can see they are much smaller in here, and for example let's place it in here, and with this option that you have in here you can break it to 2 schedules, and now you can have your schedules in these sheets. So far we've calculated the number of elements and our elements, but sometimes, for example, we want to have the total number and our material takeoffs, and it is so common that we will use one material in so many items. For example, we have a test material in here and we want to calculate and we want to have the schedule for that specific material. But before diving in this tutorial, make sure to like this video to help YouTube to reach this video to more people. All of the schedules that we've created so far are for components, for example our walls, floors and ramps and other elements that we have in Revit. But maybe you are trying to calculate the grand total and the total cost of your concrete in all of your elements. That's when material takeoff comes in. To create material quantities schedule, you need to go to the View tab, and in View tab, click on the drop down in here, click on Material Takeoff, and in here you can specify the category of it, or you can just put it on multi-category and don't care about the category of them. Just put it on multi-category in here. Let's put it on concrete schedule. And for the phase it is great. Click on OK, and in here I want the family and type of that element that is having my material, and then I want my material name, and then we want the material area, and also we can have material cost, and the volume will be okay too. And that's great. Click on OK. You can see a mess in here because we have all of the family types, and you can't see any material because this is not the right parameter. Let's bring the material name parameter from here and let's bring it up, and that's okay. Now you can see the material name, and also you can see the family and type. I just want to calculate the thought concrete material, so we need to filter it by material name. Let's go to the filter and in here put it on material name equal to thought concrete and click on OK. And now we just see the thought concrete elements and material and type in here. Now with that filter we can see the material name and family and type for that specific material, and with this option in here we can have the total area, total cost and total volume of it for this mod. For example, I want to have a calculated parameter. For example, each cubic meter of this concrete will be about 100 per cubic meter, so we need to create a calculated parameter. Let's go to the fields in here and let's remove the material cost and let's create a new parameter and let's name it cost. Now let's put it on type, and in here make sure to check all of these categories and click on OK. Now we have this parameter in here, and also this is by length, so I need to cut this name and let's remove this one and let's create a new one for ourselves. Do all of the settings that we've done for the previous one, but this time we need to put it on something like maybe a number or currency. You can put it on currency too, and let's put it on type, and that's okay. Click on OK. Now you can see the error because we have made something like this. Let's call it cubic meter 2 and let's put it on type and all of the other things that we specified. Click on OK. Now we want to multiply this by our volume. To do that, in here create a formula and calculated parameter. Let's call it total cost, and in here let's put it on currency and multiple material volume by the parameter that we've created. You saw the error. It is in constant unit because we are multiplying the cubic meter by currency. It's not possible by mathematical formula. So let's bring this parameter in a parenthesis and let's divide it by 1 meter with power of 3. Now we are good to go, and we have our total cost in here. Click on OK. Now you will have all of these options here. If you want to see the total cost, you need to assign the cost per cubic meter in here. Let's place it, for example, on 100, and because this is a type parameter, it will assign to most of them. Let's place it on 100 in here. Now you can see the total cost, and also you can go to the fields in here, and to the sorting and grouping you can have a grand total, and in formatting make sure to put the total cost on calculation totals. Click on OK, and now you can see the grand total of your concrete cost in your project really easily with this method. Also, it was the overview for material takeoff and scheduled quantities in Revit. If you want more advanced schedule tutorials, make sure to comment down below. And also another tool that I want to teach you in here, because it is a little bit useful for beginner people. For example, let's go to the sheet, and in here we want to create a sheet list too. For example, let's click on schedules, and in here click on sheet list, and now you can have your sheet list in here. Sheet number, for example, let's bring sheet number, sheet name and sheet number, and let's create a schedule list, and we can place it in our first page of drawing album, and we can deliver to our owner or our client. That was it. And if you want to learn a great advanced tip about the schedules, and that is conditional formatting, which is essential for some projects, make sure to watch this video in here too.